Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the 1 Point Safety Show with myself, Scott Hartley, and my amazing co-host, Scouse Andy. How are you, bud? You alright, mate?
I'm alright, mate. I'm alright. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, all back and all sorted. Enjoyed the weekend in London, even though we did leave early in the fourth quarter. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was
blowing
good.
out.
Man.
That's awful, that, mate.
Oh, mate, wife was not happy, that's for sure. Really enjoyed London. Met Alid. Obviously, he was sat right next to me, and his friend Chris loves an away game. Does Alid? Obviously, you know, what I mean, we're talking about, and he's been New York, he's been to Tampa, he's been everywhere. He loves it. Just gone on his own. So fair play to him.
He
Also
loves it.
met
But
Rich
then you lose. He's the bad guy.
No.
You know what I mean?
I'll tell him that. I'll tell him.
He's the bad
Hi,
guy.
little C-White. But yeah, and hi Rod, thanks for being with us. The other person we met was Rich Cameron, who obviously is a big friend of the show, puts in questions to us all the time. So fair play. What a nice guy. Spent quite a lot of time with him prior to the game. And there's more Commanders fans than you thought. A lot of people still rocking Redskins stuff as well. So I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. But yeah, every jersey you could possibly think of was there. So it was a good weekend, mate. This week at work's been a bit of a killer since I've been back. So yeah, but I'm glad it's nearly Friday. That's for sure. And we'll go for our sponsors, mate, as we always do. Sponsors by we are sponsors of Dunstable Town FC's Talk of the Town podcast. If you're into non-league football or you want to go and find out what they're doing, go over to their YouTube channel, give them a watch and a subscribe. Also sponsored by Oddballs. You can go to myoddballs.com, go and have a look at our merch. You can buy underwear, pants, as we call it in the UK, hats, scarves, socks, all sorts is in there. 50% of all profits go to men's cancer charities, so it's well worth a look. Got a sale on for Christmas as well, so go over and give it a look. Also sponsored by Fusion Therapeutics, which is northwichphysio.co.uk. They provide expert MSK assessments and treatment with a focus on holistic care, dedicated to improving your well-being through tailored musculoskeletal health plans. Team offer specialist injection therapy and non-medical independent prescribing. So if you're in the Northwest, the Manchester area or the Cheshire area, give the team a call on 01606 512 013, or you can book online and they'll be happy to help you further. Also doing red light therapy, which is really cool. Red light cell therapy. Not many clinics doing that, so go and check them out. Also go over to bleedingburgundy.com if you're into the writing side of the Commanders. They've got expert writers over there. Go and give them a shout, mate, and have a look at that. That's our sponsors done, Scouse, as always. Thanks to everybody for being with us. So we appreciate you all in the chat being here. We'll get it started, mate, and we'll get the bad news out of the way. Cowboys 44, Commanders 22. Obviously a late game for us watching it this side of the pond. Where do we start, mate? I mean,
yeah, where do you start?
From the first drive onwards, it was the slow start in the first quarter yet again. Obviously, we get the safety. You're like, actually, this is gonna, this might be okay. And then, yeah, it was just a continuation of nothing but disappointment for the entire game. I mean, where do you want to start, mate? Do you want to start on defense? I mean, where do we start?
I don't know, man. It's
what do you think?
I say it's just it was a painful watch, wasn't it? I mean, after the first drive, it was actually okay. We did okay first drive. Obviously, they skinned us first, and then obviously we got the ball and got 6, didn't we? Did we get 6? Because we went for 2, didn't we? And missed it. Is that right? Because we got a safety for 2, and then we got a touchdown, didn't we? Yeah. So that was great defense. So that's right. Yeah. Only the first bit. That was only the first bit that was actually decent about the defense. To be fair, because there wasn't a lot really showing out for us. But like everybody knows, when you got a potent offense like they have, and we know that's back to his best. Let's face it, right? And you protect them well enough, especially with our lack of edge, especially with Armstrong going after the first drive, which he shouldn't have been in the game anyway. But anyway, we'll get back to that in a bit. Now he's out for the season, so we just lost our potential Dexter Manley kind of levels of sacks, because that's what he was on course for, by the way. 16, 17, 18 sacks season. That's how good he was playing. And what do we do? Now we got to play him on a bad hamstring, and then we got to kind of, now he's out for the season. Oh yeah, cheers boys. So yeah, poor there. Again, I don't know whose game that was, allowing them to play in that game. It was Joe Witt or DQs or whoever it is. It's not right. So I can head smack for them guys if you're looking at your show. But we're looking at the actual game itself. Defense was shocking, man. Defense was shocking. The DBs were awful. We're getting toasted every day. You know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of, it was just a horror show on defense. Yeah, they've got good players. They've got good players, sure, but we just couldn't cope. We just couldn't cope at all. Offense. What do you think of defense before we go into anything else? Because there's so many things that once in my head. It's just hard to get it all out.
I understand. I want to start with obviously Lattimore, where we go with him. Clearly, this was a bad trade. I understand why Peters did the trade. You think you're getting better. You give up the draft capital. You've got one of the best pressman corners in the game, and then it's like, hold on a minute. We're going to trade for this guy. He's going to be very good, and he was awful. There were times though in that game where he made a play, and you're like, okay, you're there. You just need to turn your head around, and he couldn't locate the ball, couldn't turn his head around to stop the play. I don't want to see him in the scheme where he's 5 yards off the line, and the wide receiver's got a head start, especially when you're going up against like Pickens or against Lamb. It's a recipe for disaster, man. And to be honest with you, Sam Still is the same. He's been pretty awful in the slot, which is not a good look at all for Mikey. As you said, we couldn't get anything done up front. There was just nothing that we could do. It was just a horror show. Is it all down to scheme? We talked about it before. Is it down to scheme? Is it down to coaching? It looks like DQ stripped it back this week, but we'll see.
I think there's so many reasons for all this. You can blame injuries, but then you go, well, everybody has injuries. But the thing is, though, it's there's only so much talent that you can do, even with coaching. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you haven't got talent there's only so much you can do. Like, yes, of course, there is a scheme. You can scheme out of things. You can, as DQ always mentions, put the best players or the players in the best positions to succeed. They've not done that. Let's face it, they've not done that. We speak about it every week. Why is Wagner in coverage half the time, if not more?
Exactly.
Why is he doing that? That's a scheme problem. That's not like B-Wag decided to do that himself. No, that's a scheme problem. He shouldn't even be doing anywhere near that. Even in his prime, he was never good in coverage. That's why I had Cam Chancellor next to him, because he was. Yeah. So even in his prime, he wasn't good in coverage. So what do we do now? He's getting a bit older and he can't actually run as fast as he used to. Oh, yeah, he's playing in coverage against these ridiculously speedy receivers. It doesn't make sense. Like, we're making poor matchups every single time. That's on Joe Witt.
This is the thing. Joe Witt was said, I'll put people in the right positions at the right times. Ball is life.
He doesn't change anything.
Takeaways. Nothing's changed.
He doesn't change anything.
In a year, in 18 months. He doesn't make adjustments, doesn't change things.
No. Where's the pressure?
It's difficult.
Where's the pressure? Like if you're going to use Luvio as a rusher, and sometimes, the couple of times that Wags has actually tried to attack the quarterback, he's actually got a couple of sacks, but up the middle. But the thing is that we're not doing that regularly. You know what I mean? We're not getting that to the quarterback regularly. Now, we knew this was going to be a problem going into the season. We knew that we didn't have great edge rushers. We didn't have real pressure on the edge. Mm-hmm. And then we're thinking, well, D-Payne can do it up front. And don't get me wrong, D-Payne's been very good this season, right? Pretty solid most games. I'm not faulting him at all for most of this like shit show that we're seeing. But injuries have not helped. Wise setting the edge has gone. That definitely made a big problem for us. Because he was looking pretty solid until he got hurt. But again, we just don't have that depth. We knew we didn't have that depth on most positions. We don't have that. If you get one or two injuries in one position, we're always screwed. We're taking off guys off the actual practice squads or bums. Do you know what I mean? Like bums off the streets.
People off the street. Yeah, you're not wrong.
And that's just the facts. And it's all well and good saying, well, these guys are good enough to be in the NFL. So no, it's levels, man. There's levels to it. That's why they're on the street in the first place. That's why they're practice squad players in the first place. You know? So you've got to kind of hide the deficiencies. When you've got these guys playing, you've got to hide that deficiency by scheming it in a different way or different looks or whatever the hell it is that you got to do. Witt doesn't do anything like that. He doesn't change it up. He doesn't put any pressure. He doesn't blitz out at all. He tries to use our DBs as these guys are not very sticky anyway. Like sticky coverage, they're not very good at that anyway. So it's kind of like, well, if you're not getting pressure on the quarterback, and you're awful actually, being sticky in coverage as well as in like the DBs, then the quarterback's going to dice you up, isn't he? It's as simple as that, and that's exactly what happens. I mean, that's why Dak was having a laugh most of the time. That game, he had one of the easiest games of his life. So it's one of them for me, man.
Yeah, Jesse says DA was one of the best pass rushers in the league before he got hurt. Yeah, Scouse just said that. Absolutely, he's on for it. Who did you say it was with the level of sacks? Dexter Manley. You know what? He was on trend for it, and Wise's injuries really hurt our rush as well. Little will catch up with the chat now. Little C. Wayne says need to make adjustments on the defense. Is going to continue to get worse. I believe they should put Mikey outside. We've got to change it up as well.
You've got to change it up because what they're doing right now, it's not working. Right? It's just simple as that. It's just not working. So let's change it up.
Me and Jesse fell out a bit on the bleeding burgundy, and we were right. We were both right, but we came about it wrong. I'm saying it's personnel initially that needs to change, as well as coaching, and obviously the blame.
There's only so much you can do. Like these are the cards you've been dealt. These are the players you've got right now. What can you do with it right now? And. Yeah, we can make all the only thing I would do trade something, but you're not realistic. You're not going to do that.
The only thing I think you could do is you can move Noah I or Jones into the slot and put Mikey back outside, who was serviceable last year out there. And then you've got to hope that that's going to work.
He was more than serviceable. I was solid in the middle.
I wouldn't drop Amos
last season.
I thought Amos is played pretty good actually, and I thought he was probably our only corner that did anything against Dallas. So yeah, it was a shocker on defense, an absolute shocker on defense going with it. Offensively, the offensive line, Connolly, and this goes back to that edge discussion. Mm-hmm. Me and you were sat at penalties, 110 yards. I mean,
the Reds didn't help us. There was some shady calls, like there always is against us. There always is, and it's like, mate, you don't need to. It's like beating a dead horse. We're already getting battered anyway, and the referee pulling out these stupid penalties. And it's like, wait there a minute. They've got a full strength team. We've got virtually nothing, and so they're a massively high advantage. And then they're still getting these shit calls. I just thought, mate, that's a piss take. To be fair, but yeah, it definitely doesn't help. So
yeah, exactly right. Offensively, Connolly awful. God awful.
Yeah, he was.
And in the end, going into the fourth quarter, he's getting benched for Wiley, which we all know how you like Andrew Wiley's guys. Yeah. It just says it all. I mean,
yeah, there's a lot of problems.
You look at putting 22 points up against. You put 22 points up against a Cowboys side, and granted, their defense has been just as bad as ours has, but. It was simple. It was a simple game plan. There's no one on that team that they were scared of. You flood the box, and make it. And this is the most they've ever played man this season.
Yeah,
that tells me everything I need to know that they're not scared of Chris Moore. They're not scared of Jalen Lane. They're not scared of Luke McCaffrey.
Why would you be scared of those guys? You wouldn't be. These guys are not it.
Yeah, you're right.
These guys are bang average players. Lane's got some upside, and so's McCaffrey. He's doing well, especially in punt and kick returns. But again, he doesn't get a lot of snaps on offense because he's the kick returner, so that doesn't help us actually in the offense. And I just think there's a lot to be desired, man. I mean, it was so easy even I could scheme up and tell you what Dallas was going to do on defense to our offense. It was go man because. Their corners, even the second-tier corners, are better than our third-string receivers. So already they went to an instant upgrade. And then what he did was, who's the most effective pass catcher that they've actually got on the field right now? It's Zach Ertz, isn't it? So what did they do? They put their own Bland on him, who's their best corner. Nullified. That's it. Game over. We had nothing on offense because of that. And even I could have schemed up that defense for Dallas. That's how easy it was. Bill's a problem, man. Bill is a problem because He's good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's got a nice jump cut and all this, and he looks sharp at times. However, everybody knows as soon as he comes on, it's a tell. It's a tell of saying to their defense, they're going to run the ball because he can't pass protect for shit. The time that he tried to do actually pass protect, that's when Jaden got hurt again. Yeah. So this is the problem you see. It's like because he's so bad at pass protection that it's an instant tell for the defense. Let's, as you said, let's stack the box. Let's get at them. Yeah. And then what happens if Bills get hit in the backfield? It's too easy, man. Like, it's just too easy for these other teams.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. Cliff wasn't in his bag this week. That's a certainty. You'd have thought that, again, there's blame there. You thought there'd have been adjustments on what Cliff can do.
There's only, to be fair, it's like anything, though. If you've got guys off the streets taking on true NFL players, it's always going to be hard. They're never going to get open. You know what I mean? That's the problem. That's the reason why they're not the elite themselves. You know? So there's always going to be an element of a drop-off in quality, in production, and getting open. But that's why Jaden, and this is why I know you've seen people say, oh, Jaden, he's not good. He elevates players. Well, he does to a certain extent. But the thing is like, you can't polish a turd. It's still a turd. Do you know what I mean? And that's the problem with our defense. And that's the problem with our receivers. They are. They're fucking shit. You know? Yeah. Chris Moore's our number one receiver. Really? I mean, that guy's going to be like wide receiver 5 on anybody else's team. You know, so he would never see the field.
At best.
He would never see the field.
Ian says it's a shame we spent a small fortune watching our team in Spain and looking like it's going to be watching backups. Yeah, Ian, I don't disagree with you. 9 players now on IR. Obviously, Dorrance Armstrong's gone out. Well, Dorrance hamstring, I might call him, has gone out. He's got a serious knee injury, which obviously is compensating from a hamstring problem. You know what I mean? It's all related, as you tell me. Hips, hamstrings, knees, they all go the same sort of time. Not good. Riverboat Ron has left us in a very bad way, also, says Ian. Ultimately, it takes time to build a team. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
I don't disagree, but you've also got to say, well, actually, AP's had two off seasons now. You know what I mean? Like he's got to start doing his job better. You know, everyone could go on about the Terry thing. Right, I think that's massively messed up our dressing room cohesion. Like, you know,
I really do think
it's a problem.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I mentioned this at the start when all this was going on. You know, if AP, okay, you might have overpaid at the time, right? If you did it instantly straight away, the team cohesion and the team kind of mentality was still pro team. See what I mean? Yeah. Like, but when you start messing around with him and going, you know, he's not worth that money. We're being a cheapskate basically on him. Players are going, well, if he can get fucking paid, neither can I. You see what I mean? And I'm a big name as well. So they're in the back of their mind, they're going, when I'm going to play well, I'm not going to get paid. I'll have to go somewhere else. So, you know, and it's definitely affected us. And obviously he came back. He was definitely not in football shape. You know, then he got hurt trying to make a play for us and a touchdown, which should have been given, by the way. And then wasn't given, and now everyone's been ripping him, saying he's a load of shit, and it's like he's 30, but it's like, no, wait a minute, you can't keep changing the fucking goalposts. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. It's like, it's either AP's fault or it's not AP's fault.
You know what I mean? This is the issue we have here.
And he's the roster builder. He's the roster builder.
He is. He is. Ian, I agree with you completely. I mean, look, don't put me in charge as GM because we'd have no cap space and 150 players. But it's, you know...
like the Saints.
I 100% would be.
Put it off for next year.
Yeah, we'll smash that down the line. Ian's Rod's put a few things in. He's saying no communications in the backfield season. Scheme wasn't right. What happened? Putting players in position to succeed. He said DQ was pissed. I saw DQ post game. That is the worst I've ever seen him. Like, as in being close to the edge. And normally the coaches are out, 10 minutes after the game. It was 40 minutes, and you're like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? This is a lot to take in. You're right. AP is the roster builder. You're absolutely right in what you're saying there. Yes. But as Ian says, when you don't hit on any of your draft picks, how are you meant to be a younger, getting better team? Now I understand the strategy of why he's done what he's done.
Is that an AP problem then? Because he picked guys that aren't good enough. Do you see what I mean? Like, so this is the thing. You see, it's kind of like,
I think it's scheme.
Do
I
we
think
love
it's
AP?
scheme as
Yes. But don't forget though, Jaden fell into his arms. Let's face it, right?
well.
Let's face it. You think about it that way. So after that guy, who's been out there, and you went, wow, that guy is damn good, and he should be in the team every week. Not many,
No
is there?
one.
Yeah.
No.
Ben Sinnott, second rounder, done nothing. He's getting better in blocking, yes, but he's still not it. He still can't catch a ball to save his life. And this guy came in as actually meant to be a pass catcher. So
Johnny
what's happened
Newton,
there?
Flashes.
Johnny Newton. Was that even him? Was he the year before?
No. The AP took Johnny Newton. Yeah, AP took Johnny Newton.
Okay,
so
with
that's
a broken foot at the
Flashes.
time, 2 broken feet.
Yeah.
So he took the risk and it worked out.
Mike Sam still had a great rookie year.
My favorite player, yeah. Well, one of my favorite. Well, my favorite draft pick that he's done outside of Jaden. That one. But then, as I say, you look along the line, man. Like, I mean, I'm not 100% dissing AP, but I just don't think that he helped the situation at the start. I think, with the Terry thing, and I understand it's also Terry's fault as well. I'm not just putting it all on AP, But I do think though that those things definitely changed the dynamic in that actual dressing room. I really do, because this team isn't playing for each other like it used to. Not like last season. I understand we haven't got as many injuries as we had this year. I get it. You're trying to compare it to last season, but there's a lot, man. There's a lot to be desired, and I don't think this team is fighting for each other like it did. Especially, Dallas game was the first game I saw us actually give up. We actually give up in that game. We didn't even try towards the end of that game. Didn't even try. That's what pissed DQ off. That's why you can see why he was so angry at the end of that game. Because they give up.
I know. I saw that. It was. I mean, like we've said a lot of the time here, it doesn't matter if you get beat by the better team. As long as the effort is there that you can put in, and it's not there. But I also think it has to change personnel. McGee needs to come into that team. We need speed. DQ's talked about speed this week. I think there will be some personnel changes going into the Kansas City game. I think we might see some people benched or starters not starting, which will be very interesting to see what happens with the team.
The thing is, though, with injuries, it's hard to do that, though, isn't it? It's hard to go, I'm going to drop Lattimore because you've got no corners, I know Jones
when you've got nine players on IR, it's tough.
It's difficult to make an actual, make a stand against certain players. If you're not producing, I'm going to bench you, no matter what your name is. Now, obviously, it's hard to do when you've got 9 guys out, so that's why it's hard.
Don't get me wrong. The other day, I was so pissed off with Lattimore. I was like, just cut him now. Don't even bother giving this player another dime. It's not worth it. We've got no money to him next season. He's a free agent.
Oh yeah, he'll be gone. He'll be gone next season. He's done next season. Yeah, he's gone. He's getting older. I don't think he's got that hamstring. I don't think that's a legit hamstring. I mean, as in, I don't think it's like he's going to get back to 100% as how he was before that. I just think this hamstring was worse than what we all thought it was. And I think he's lost a yard. And it doesn't help though that other teams are just picking on him, because think about it. If any team just picks on a certain player, that guy's getting toasted. It doesn't matter who it is. Because, for example, Dak didn't really go after Amos. You see what I mean? Like if Dak went after Amos, and Amos could have felt the pain, but he didn't. He went, "Oh no, let's go after him because we know this guy's a walking PI if you don't get the catch." So that's the other reason. So everyone's just dogging on him all the time now. So and that's why he's getting shown up to be really bad. But most corners are, if you give a quarterback all the time in the world to throw the ball, for the receiver to get open, Lattimore panics, and that's where the PI comes along, and it's just kind of like a lot of corners do that though. That's the problem. Lattimore isn't the only one who gets called for PIs for panicking, for doing something silly because the guy's beating you, because the quarterback's got loads of time all the time in the world. You know what I mean? To throw the ball to him. So, there's so many problems to this defense. It's unreal, to be honest.
So I know the blame we've put on Witt. I know the blame we've put a little bit on AP. I know the blame we've put a little bit on DQ, on scheme, on all the other things. That can't facilitate, or that can't be helped by Quan Martin running into fucking Lattimore. I mean, what are we doing
That's
here?
A communication problem right
and
there,
that,
man.
To me,
what are they doing?
Exactly. That to me says, what are you doing when there's a safety, when there needs to be a safety over the top? I heard last week Witt say that when tackling takes place, we need to get 2 or 3 people to tackle at the same time. what we playing at? That's why Bobby Wagner's ending up in coverage. And it's like, what are we doing? Just tackle. Don't go for the hit sticks. Don't go for the, I'm lowering my shoulder and then hoping that I'm going to get somewhere when it's not happening. You're going to run over if a wide receiver's coming at you at top speed. You're going to get run over. And it's as simple as that. And then you're right, building this roster hasn't helped, and a depth that's behind the starters.
I understand
has been shown up.
I understand the mode that AP went in. I understand it.
Absolutely.
He had to go vet first. Let's face it, because you realise he's got a short period of time with Jaden and his rookie contract. So we all knew that we have to be forced 2-3 years ahead of the game of what he really wanted to do. We know that AP is normally a draft guy and he wants to build through the draft and all the rest of it. We know that. But he had to change his mantra this time around. But it's not worked. That's the problem. The guys they brought in haven't produced or got hurt. You know what I mean? So again, they can't blame him for being hurt. That's not his fault. But it's kind of like you got to look at it and go, man, like a lot of your decisions, man, have not been great. You know what I mean? There's a plenty of blame to go around for this team at this moment. There's plenty of blame to go around.
100%. And funnily enough, isn't it, when you're on a podcast like this or you've had a bad loss, and granted it was a terrible loss because we hate the Cowboys, but when you've had a bad loss and things aren't going right, you got more to talk about. That's it. It fills column inches. It fills podcasts. There's more to talk about. When
unfortunately, negativity.
This doesn't happen.
It's hard.
Creeps in, doesn't it?
It is hard because you want to be realistic, but then you also want to be optimistic as well. And think, you know what? Yeah, we can get around this. We can, if we did this or change this a little bit, it might make the biggest difference. But to be fair, when you're down by so many players, and you know for a fact that Witt's not going to change anything, he's not going to change it. You've seen what he is. He's been there a season and a half. You know what he's going to do. You know the kind of scheme he's going to play. You know what the plays he's going to try and call. He's not going to change. He's not going to go completely off script and really change it up and really give up some, mad-looking blitzes or all sorts of different things. You just don't see it from him. So, you're going to expect the same stuff. You're going to expect the same performance. You're going to expect the same defeats. You're going to give up loads of points and loads of yards. That's exactly what we've been doing. He's not going to change it.
Yeah, I think Witt needs to go at the end of the season.
I think he should have got fired at half-time against Dallas. Being honest, he should have been fired then. DQ should have just went, look, mate, you can stay in Dallas. You came from Dallas. You still probably could still get a house here. You can still stay here at the end of the game and walk home, because they're not being funny. Like, he was god awful. And DQ should start actually taking some responsibility himself now as well. DQ's getting, I'm not saying he's on a hot seat, but it's getting warmer. It's definitely getting warmer, because I'm not seeing any big things, big changes that he's doing. He's looking defeated himself. He's looking like he's given up himself. And it's like, well, that wasn't DQ last year.
No, not from his press conference today. He's bringing it back to basics. He wants to, stop the hesitation. He said he's talked to the players directly and said if anything's in there that's causing you to think, get it gone. We'll get it out. We'll get it out of the playbook. It's out of the way.
Basically, boys, you're all dumb. And you can't actually handle actual Joe Witt scheme. That's basically what he's trying to say.
I can understand what he's saying, though, in some respects, because he's saying to it, well, how, it. But the thing is, we know when we watch the tape and when we watch these games, it didn't work last season. We couldn't stop the run. We were better at the back end, but we couldn't stop the run. Now, if that's down to injuries, Wise, Harris, big losses. Do you know what I mean? These things happen. No defensive ends whatsoever. But to Jesse's point here, and I also got a question on this as well. He's saying the funny thing is Mikey Sarastill's playing much worse, but nobody says anything about him. I do agree the fan base does not say anything about him. Hail on 3 podcast also wrote into us and said it's time to bench Lattimore, bring in Noah I as the nickel, and put Mikey back outside. However, Samra is struggling in coverage big time this year inside. Made a couple of plays, but graded out very, very low through the first 7 weeks. Don't disagree with it. I think it's having a shocker of the season.
I don't disagree, but the thing is that he earned a long leash from last season's performances. That's the reason why no one's really getting on his case yet, because there's other guys that haven't been here long enough who are playing even worse. So that's why they're getting rinsed. That's why Lattimore's getting rinsed. That's why other guys are getting rinsed. Right. So yeah, Sam still, his turn will come along if he keeps continuing to play poorly. That will change. That will change pretty soon. If we get two defeats and he plays god awful, I'd say you can see that happening. But that's the only thing. The reason why most of the fan base are kind of letting it slide at the moment because there's other guys playing worse.
Rod says Mike's the only player with picks. Yeah, you're right.
But he is. He's also drop loads as well. I mean,
what happened to being this takeaway machine? We're not seeing that. Yeah. And then I'm sitting watching Emmanuel Forbes have a decent game. It's like, what the hell is actually going on here?
I mean, do you think it's that like the reason why our tackling's so bad is because they are trying to hit stick because Witt's always saying you got to take the ball away, you got to cause a fumble, and that's the reason why they're trying these stupid ass tackles that just aren't working and they're getting run over. Do you think it's something like that?
Yeah, yes, I do. And then I watched. I can't remember who it was. I think it was the Lions. I watched. Yeah, it was the Lions game. And then you got them doing tackling, but you can see perfect peanut punches twice by the same player, and I'm like, that's tackling. That's how you're supposed to do things to get turnovers. But the tackling has been abysmal this season. Absolutely abysmal. And we've talked about it ad nauseum. But nothing's changing. And this is the problem.
And that's what's the soul-destroying bit. It's like...
Yeah, it is. It really is.
You don't mind if Witt is... if we're getting toasted, but at least he's trying different things. He's trying to make something out of it. You know what I mean? But it's not. It's just all the same stuff. It's the same plays. It's the same schemes. Nothing's changing. So you're going to expect the same. You're going to expect to concede another 30, 40 points. That's our expectations right now. Because Witt's not going to change it up enough. He's not going to change it up enough. And he won't even actually... I don't even see he'll change it at all, even from the Dallas game. I really don't.
If he doesn't, he's in serious shit street. He needs to be.
I mean, if it wasn't DQ's mate, if he was just a guy who was brought in because Harris wanted him, he'd have been booted out the team. He'd have been booted out the squad right now. He really would have. But because he's DQ's mate, he's trying to protect him. Problem is, mate,
he's obviously getting it.
You're getting some shit now as well, DQ. You know what I mean? Like you got to sort it out.
I do not disagree with you at all. There, he is getting a lot. He's getting a bit of heat now. You can see that starting to.
You can see it on his face. He's feeling the strain. He's feeling the strain.
Questions are getting asked.
He's feeling the pressure because, I mean, last year everything went quite right for us. We didn't have many injuries. Our guys played, and he also played well as a team. That brotherhood that was like this. It was throughout the team, and you can see the difference this time around. Some guys are individual. Some guys are putting in half effort. Some guys are arm tackling. What's that about? You know what I mean? It's just like there's too much there. That's just too many fractures. You know what I mean? And I don't think Witt can fix it. I just don't think he can. So I think he needs to leave.
So what would you? I agree with you. What do you think then? Apart from obviously Joe Witt being relieved of his duties, what do you do to try and change this up? I'm not saying let's change it up for Kansas City, but there needs to be something different. Speed was mentioned by DQ in his press conference.
If you can't get pressure to Mahomes, you're dead. It's simple as that. Like you are dead. Like. And it's going to be hard because you don't have great pass rushers anyway. So it's going to be hard. So we're going to have to kind of scheme up some exotic blitzes and stuff like that. I'm really trying to get them, uncomfortable, like making them really kind of, misread the defenses, like really exotic type stuff. But our guys, as I said, if DQ's saying things like, "Oh, we've dumbed down the playbook, we've made it a bit easy that you haven't got to think and all this," well, then they're not going to see any of that. You're not going to see anything different like that. So it's just going to be the same old. That's why I've got no confidence at all in us playing them this week. We got nothing. We got nothing. I mean, and I'm feeling a bit defeatist because I'm just like, oh man, like at least if DQ is in there, you might go, well, you know what? You might actually change it. You might actually, this guy knows defense. You know what I mean? He's been top drawer in Seattle and all the other places. But it's like, man, you're not running the show. You're still leaving Joe Witt to do it. So I'm just not expecting anything at all, to be honest, mate. I'm expecting the same old shit.
So Jaden Daniels obviously got an injury as well and had to come out of this game. Hamstring
strain.
Bill. Initially, it looked like, it looked like a knee.
Could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Please, don't be a knee.
But look at that though.
Both knees.
Now that's another leg. So now he's got two bad legs.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what really frustrates me, man. Because I have like, I know like American football is like an alpha sport, and you've got to play injured otherwise you come across as a pussy. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Now I get it, but the thing is like if you can't do your job, on the field at a good enough level, if you're banged up, then you shouldn't be on the field. I'd rather have a fit guy who's maybe not as good as you, but will be playing better than you because you can't produce the goods because your body can't handle what you needed to do right now. Yeah. So I'd rather have that. I'd rather have a second tier guy in. Like if it's Jaden, like he's really banged up big time. Mariota, yeah, we know he's not as good as JD. We know that. But a fully fit Mariota against a 60% GD, it's probably about level. You see what I mean? So it's kind of like, well, why are you risking your franchise guy, the guy that's going to be the stud for the next 10 years, hopefully, in your squad and your team, for shit like that? And then, he's only got a banged up knee, which we know is worse than what everyone's letting on. And then now he does his hamstring on the other leg. Now, that could have been a lot worse. It
could have been.
And the thing is now he's out for another. So he's missed 2 games. He's probably going to miss another 3 or 4. You'd be lucky to see him by the time we go to Madrid. We'll be lucky to see him then.
Do you think it's definitely going to be a 3-week injury, this minimum?
Yeah, minimum. But the thing is, though, as well, is that it's harder to actually predict with our team, with our players, because our team is so vague with exactly what's out there, with what the actual injuries are. Like, he's week to week, then all of a sudden he's out IR. What's happened there? What's happened different? He hasn't played. So what's happened different there? The Terry thing. Oh yeah, it's the quad. A couple of weeks. No problem. It's a week, 4 weeks now, something like that since he hit it. Yeah. Something like that.
He's full practice today, and so is Debo. Both full practice.
But that is promising. Now let's just see what they're like on Friday
tomorrow
to see if they're actually still playing full practice, because you need to see how Terry reacts to that kind of like full workload there. So that'll be interesting to see. But that's positive. That's positive.
Absolutely. It is absolutely positive to look back at that. I mean, Jaden being out, it's a shame. It's just one of them things. You just need to now have him sit. Stop believing in himself that I've got to play. I'm the leader. I'm this. Just hold him back and say, look, hold on a minute. You need to be out for the full 3 weeks if that's what you need to be out for. It's a murderer's row, this. The problem you have with this is the fixtures are piling up. The good teams were playing,
if you want to be in the playoff contention, you're going to be in playoff contention. You've got to win some of these games that we're not expected to win. And
that's why I don't think we'll get the playoffs this year. I really don't know.
I don't think you will either. I think it's going to be, is there a potential? That's what I said. I don't want to be defeatist, but it's just how it's coming across, because there's just a lot going on here. There's a lot to decipher and to try and fix week to week as we're going along. It's just too much. The talent isn't there. The team work, the team cohesion, the actual unit as brotherhood is not the same. That's a kind of that one of those hidden ingredients that you don't seem to realize that's so important, especially when you're not the best talented team. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if you're like the Eagles, who are just ultra talented, they can get away with it even if they're playing for themselves. Do you know what I mean? They can get away with it most of the time. Teams like us who don't have that strength and depth throughout the whole squad, the offense and defense, you have to be like this. You're going to be playing like a natural, true team. Everyone doing the assignment properly every single rep, and we're not doing that.
Yeah, I agree with you there, and what you're saying, that every single rep is not being taken. You're right in exactly what you're saying there. With the way it was last season, lightning in a bottle was caught. Luck plays a massive part in it. Injuries play a massive part in it.
Well, it's the same. We didn't get injured that much last year.
How many one-score games did we have last year that we snuck out? Fourth down drives that you think, right, I've got to convert here, and you convert. How many last 30-second touchdowns did we score in games? You know what I mean? Atlanta going into the playoffs, Zach Ertz touchdown. You're thinking there wasn't any real massive games that we completely blew teams out, apart from the divisional round against a beat-up Lions team. And the funny thing is this year, Scouts, the NFL is all over the place. The Indianapolis Colts, mate, are the number 1 seed.
What? In the Indiana Jones, mate. Absolutely flying.
I mean, it's just... It's crazy. Teams like that are beat up as well. The Ravens are beat up. The Bengals are beat up. We're beat up. 49ers have got nobody but are still pushing a win out. I mean, what is going on in the NFL?
But you see the difference there, though. Do you see the difference though between us and the Niners? Yeah. They're injured all the time, the Niners, and they always still get most of the time a good result. You know, they brought back Salah as well. A proper defensive coordinator who knows what he's doing. Then you got Shanahan on the offense who knows what he's doing. You know, I mean, they've changed quarterbacks more times than we have this year.
Oh, 100%. And Mac Jones is playing well.
Jones, you know what I mean? Then it was Purdy, and then Purdy's there again, and then Mac's back in. And Mac's held his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
he's done okay.
And again, that's a scheme thing as well. Yeah, you tailor your scheme to put your player in the best position to win. And that's what we don't do enough. We don't do enough. It's simple as that. Offense and defense, we don't do enough of that. I mean, Cliff's has been pretty good for most of the season. We're still putting points up, even with virtually no team. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's not all on Cliff's fault. I mean, he's only got what he's got to play with. But there's levels to it all. Do you know what I mean? And like, yeah, we just don't got it.
So Rod says, so does Luvo go to edge? And he thinks there's going to be a rearrangement in the trenches. Yeah, it's going to be tough to do because we haven't got personnel that's going to be in there.
I mean, what's happened to Coleman? Why does he keep being a scratch? Surely he's not injured. They said he was originally
Coleman that we don't know about.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something going on there. It's not even being like on the bench. You know what I mean? Like to come in for snaps. There's got to be something going on.
So trade deadline's not far away. Buyers or sellers, Scouts. What are we doing here? If the season's done, we're not getting any better. We know we've got these two. If we come out of this Seattle game and we haven't won that, we're all writing off Kansas City pretty much on Monday night, which we'll get into. Mm-hmm. If we're writing them to, if we come out of the Seattle game at the trade deadline, we haven't won. That's 2 losses. Are you selling?
Probably.
Just because we've got to get younger, haven't we? And
we
haven't got draft picks.
But the thing, it's true. But the thing is, though, is that who wants our guys? You know what I mean? Like you're going to come into you and go, AP, yeah, I'm interested in this dude. You're going to look at maybe 3 or 4 guys. No one else is going to be interested in any of them. No one's going to want Von Miller. No one's going to want Armstrong with no knee. You know what I mean? They're not going to want. They're not going to want McNichols. You know what I mean? Like these guys. I mean, there's no these guys aren't. These players are not going. You know what? That guy'd be perfect for my system. There's none of those dudes.
I think
Terry
there's a few that you
injured. You don't know if he's going to be healthy. That's one that might go. No, I'm not taking a chance on that. Debo, only on 1-year deal. You're going to get virtually nothing for him anyway. Who else have we got? Sanders potentially. Who? Deron Payne. Okay, Deron Payne. He could be one you could get rid of, and you might get something decent for that. Maybe if you're lucky, a second rounder. If you're lucky, more than likely a third.
Little C. Wayne said no. I potentially trade at the deadline. Yeah, Brandon Coleman.
But again, Coleman was a 3rd round pick. So unless you're getting a 3rd round pick back, then what's the point?
True.
And are you going to get a 3rd round for a guy who's not even on the actual playing squad? You guys who's been a healthy scratch. You're not going to get a 3rd rounder for that.
Mariota. That's right.
Mariota,
Rod.
again, 1-year deal. 1-year deal. You're going to get a 5th rounder at best. And then who are you going to play then if JD's hurt? Who have you got then?
Sam Hartman and Josh Johnson.
And we've seen how bad they are. We've seen how bad they are. So, and I mean, okay, you could say, well, we are tanking, so we might as well just play these guys. But it's like, I don't want my team to tank ever. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like,
I'm with you.
As you mentioned before, it's all about effort. Even if you haven't got the talent, because of injuries or whatever you want to call it, as long as you're giving it everything they've got, and if you're not seeing that on the field, then that pisses me off more than us losing. You know, so it's kind of like, I don't like when teams tank because they don't put the effort in. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you reckon you're going to be with sellers?
Yeah, I think so. It depends. If we lose these next 2, there's no chance of getting in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's just like, well, who would you get rid of? I mean, honestly though, right? I mean, would you say everybody's up for sale? Besides JD, maybe. Everybody else is fair game. Would you accept if it was? You're not going to get 2 first rounders for a dude. You're not going to get stuff like that. No. We don't have those kind of players.
We haven't got anyone out there like that.
Yeah, we haven't got a Parsons or someone like that. We haven't got that.
The only player I can think that would be garner any real interest is Payne. That's it, and it's probably going to be a 3rd rounder.
Yeah, at best, and this guy was a 1st round pick. And it's not like he's playing poorly. He's playing well.
I think realistically, you stand pat with what you've got. And you ride out the season, and we see how we get on.
I mean, if someone's traded something for Latimer, I'd drive them myself. Yeah. But no one's going to come in off for anything.
No one's coming in for Jalen. No one's coming in for freaking Sheldon Day, are they?
Yeah, exactly. You've got maybe 4 or 5 guys that might have some potential for the team.
Some interest. And we're talking pick swaps, lower end.
Exactly. We're not getting no first rounders for anybody.
Oh, Christ,
the only one you could do it for was JD, and you're not going to get rid of him. So anybody else, no one's even going to touch anything anywhere near a first or second rounder for most players in our team. So why would you rather be a seller? Oh, well, I've got 6 rounders this year. Well, what's that going to do for you? Do you know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, if he's proven that they can't pick shit in round 6 anyway, he doesn't even give Kane Madrano a chance to play. Wow. So this is like even a chance, not even sniffing the field. Do you know what I mean? This guy's like fucking, at home watch it on the telly. It's kind of like what's going on here. It's not like this defense is amazing. You can't get in this team. Do you know what I mean? If you can't get in this team, mate, you're not much caught. Being honest,
it's true. So we're going into play into Arrowhead Stadium on Monday Night Football. We are going to be playing the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 4-3 and second in the AFC West. They started out the season with a loss to LA Chargers 27-21. They lost then to Philly 2017. Beat New York Giants 22-9. Beat Baltimore, who were very badly injured at that point, 37-20. Then lost to Jacksonville 31-28. Bounced back with a Monday Night Football win against the Detroit Lions 30-17. And then last week they put up 31 points in a shutout against Las Vegas. Looking at their roster and obviously who their stats are.
They're getting healthier as well.
They certainly are. And I'm looking at this, and Patrick Mahomes is obviously their passing leader with 1,800 yards. Rushing wise, it's 271 yards to Isaiah Pacheco. Receiving yards, it's Travis Kelce with 375. Nick Bolton is their top tackler with 55, and they have 1 interception in Trent McDuffie. So they aren't taking the ball away, which I suppose is a good thing. Spags has an amazing defense, lots of blitzes, lots of pressure all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not great when you don't have have Jaden Daniels and a running. We do have a running quarterback, but he's not as mobile as Jaden.
You've got potentially a penalty. You've got 2 tackles you give away penalties for fun. Tunsil, because Tunsil does,
and Connolly,
and also Connolly. And I mean, obviously Connolly was god awful last week, but I think a little caveat to that is that Cosme come in, and they've not had any chemistry at all. They've not played together ever.
No, what I mean? If you actually look at Cosme's stats...
Yeah, but his stats were good.
He had 93% pass block, no pressures, no QB hits, no penalties whatsoever.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, he might be doing that a little bit, but the thing is, though, Conley doesn't know where he is, where he's at. You know what I mean? It's that kind of telepathic thing. And obviously, Cosme's a model pro. He's been around a long time. Everyone, Biadish played with him before. Everyone's played with him, but Conley's not played with him before. So I'm not making that in a pure excuse, but it's a case of that you got to take that he had a down game because he's not played with him before. He didn't know his tendencies, what he likes to do, and that might put him off a little bit. And then he goes, "Oh shit, that split second," and that's it. It's all it needs, the penalty, because you got a hold or whatever. So there's an element of that as well. But I say, Conley's got to, if he's starting, he's got to step up this week, definitely.
Yeah.
But it's painful, man, because Spags is going to bring the pressure, as you mentioned. He's going to bring the pressure. He's going to blitz you. He's going to give you some exotic looks. He's going to try and fool Mariota's reading of the defense. You're going to see it, and what are we going to do about it? And that's where Cliff's got to dial it up, man. And it's difficult when you've got no players you can get separation at the moment, unless Terry and Debo. If they are back, Treylon Burks, he's still in the AP. He's still in the practice squad, isn't he?
Yeah, but he'll be learning.
I used to love Treylon Burks coming out of college. I thought he was going to be class, man. I really did.
I did too. I really did too. He's speedy and he's bigger.
Yeah, he's a big lad. Yeah. I mean, I like his game. It's just that he was got awful with. Was it Tennessee? Was it
Tennessee? Yeah,
he was awful
Tennessee,
there. But yeah, I mean, hope you never know. If you might see him come up. Is he going to get activated for the game? Who knows?
Robbie
Chosen Robbie Chosen.
And Chris Moore. No.
Chris Moore.
No.
These guys should not anyone need a squad. Shouldn't anyone need a team?
Funny enough, Rod put a question into us about this. He was in our chat, so cheers, Rod, for being here. He said, Tyler Lockett is available, short-term fix, give you a proven route runner and a deep threat for offense, or do you potentially see out, get out of a playoff run and use Luke and Lane and other rookies? I think we're ready to push next season, but that might be the better course of things to do if Noah I and Terry and Debo are still out.
I think if you are... See, it's such a precarious situation because you're going to try and say, well, as you say there, you could just go, well, you know what, let's stick with the rookies to give them the experience, and the next season they're ready to go.
Which they do need.
You know, and yeah, they do. But the thing is that the system's going to be different next year. So you know what's going because let's face it, our guy's not going to be there next year, Cliff. He's going to be a head coach somewhere else. Guarantee it. I'll guarantee it. He'll be somewhere else. So. It's all well good giving the October,
Scouse says 23rd of October. Scouse says Cliff will be a head coach. I guarantee it. Right, it's going in the book.
Guarantee. Put in the book, man. Put in the book. He will. He will, man.
I don't disagree. I think he'll be away.
Yeah, he'll have a choice of a few teams. And then obviously, then the rookies have got to. Okay, not rookies anymore, but they've got to learn a new system. So they're going to be acting like a rookie again. So does that really help us right now? No, it doesn't. Playing them now, would that really help us right now? No, I don't think it does. Would I rather take a chance on a Jalen Lane and Luke rather than Robbie Chosen, who you know is not going to be here next year, 100%? Then yeah, I'd rather give the younger guys a shot. But it's still, I'll be looking at other teams' practice squads, man. I'll be trying to pick some guys up. AP's got to be doing his job, man. He's going to be looking around and saying, okay, that edge guy could be all right for us. Let's steal him from somebody's practice squad. Because so
maybe then, if
they don't cost picks,
if these players are garnering interest, you Noah Eyes, your Brandon Commons, them sort of players, do you swap them for a player from another team, like an edge or a corner, or a receiver that you might need?
I mean, if there is a player there that interests you. And in a position of need, because in the day it's got to be a position of need when you trade and direct. You know what I mean? It's got to be a position of need. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. If as long as it makes an instant upgrade, and the guy's not banged up and you're getting him in, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. then why not? Then why not? But as I say, it's hard, man, because we're at that borderline of we know realistically as fans, we know that we're probably not going to make the playoffs. We've got ridiculous teams coming up. So. We're going to lose many games coming over this next stretch. But it's the hope that kills you, isn't it? So this is where it's kind of like, because you want them to win so bad, but then they're not going to do it, man. It's painful.
So before Miami, we have what? We have this week, Monday Night Football, Kansas City. Then a short week, Sunday Night Football against Seattle. Then you go...
Is that home or away?
As well. Seattle game's at home, mate.
At home. So Seattle are the best away team in the NFC. So records as well. They are the best away NFC team. All right. So
they are. This is a murderer's row of
so Seattle's no gimme. Trust me now. Trust me right there. That's not a gimme game. Even if we were healthy, that wouldn't be a gimme game. So having
they're a good side. They're a good team.
Half a squad ain't going to help. So you've got, as you say, Kansas loss. Detroit, did you say?
Seahawks. Yeah,
Seahawks
at home to Seahawks. And then we've got Lions at home.
Yeah. They'll want revenge, man, for us knocking them out.
Then we've
the playoffs. They'll want revenge. No, they want to battle us. That's our next game. That's our potentially next game we could win.
We've got the Dolphins in Madrid.
Yeah, is that one? That's the only one that potentially we could win that one.
The Broncos, tough one.
Again, good solid defense.
Broncos is tough. At the Vikings, tough.
It is Carson Wentz, though. I mean,
and then
might have a chance there potentially. But again, it's still not favourites.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then you go in at Giants. At home to the Eagles, at home to the Cowboys, at the Eagles to finish.
Now again, the Eagles aren't the same team as couple of years ago. So,
No,
but
they
by that
started
time,
to play
though, it's
well
over.
again.
But by that time, it's going to be over unless we can get to ourselves to say 8-6. If we can somehow get ourselves to that before that little kind of end bit there that you mentioned, then we're done. And the thing is, though, to get 8-6, we're going to have to win some games against some good sides, and we don't have a lot of players to do it. It's going to be very tough, man.
Rod says, I think the important thing is we need to change the scheme and be able to make adjustments in the game. Yeah, agreed. Do not disagree with you,
exactly.
Rod.
And Joe Witt doesn't do that. Joe Witt doesn't do that. So we know the defense is going to be the same. It's going to be vanilla. It's going to be awful. No one's going to like the taste of it. Shit. Yeah.
So the only question that we've got now, which is quite a funny question, thanks Tim Towner, one of his searching questions again,
right.
and fair play to him. He reached out to us and said thanks for reading the question about quarterbacks from last week, who've been producing but could benefit from switching teams. You guys just took off and started rifling and riffing with each other, and I really enjoyed that conversation. I said so. Yeah, thanks Tim. We appreciate what you're doing and always putting a question to us. He said, question for the pod, Roger Goodell just named you Uniform Tsar. Grading the following: Cleveland's poop brown unis, the Chargers mustard yellow unis, Washington all burgundy unis, Washington all black unis, or any team's all white unis, Tampa Bay's current red, black, pewter grey unis versus their classic creamsicle throwbacks. I mean, some of them uniforms, Tim, are horrendous. I mean, out of all
so what's
of them...
So do we get rid of them? Is that the question, to get rid of?
Yeah, so what you're saying is grade them.
Oh, grade them. Oh.
Yeah, so do you think the All Blacks from us is a good uniform scheme?
Yeah, it's good. It's not really our team. It's not really our team colours, but yeah, I mean, I'd put that higher up on the list more than compared to the other ones that have been mentioned.
Cleveland's poop brown unis. Wow, that's got to be down towards the bottom.
Oh.
The mustard yellow Chargers jersey are horrendous. I think for me, creamsicle throwbacks would be bottom. They look horrendous. Then Cleveland's poop unis. Then the Chargers. All white uniforms, I don't mind. I quite like the Bills' off-white uniform. That's quite smart. Tampa Bay's red, black, pewter grey thing is grim. And then all burgundies. What do you think of all burgundies for us?
Again, I think it's
nice. I think it's all right.
It's solid. It's a solid uniform. I wouldn't say we're the best out there, but it's solid. I mean, our ones have been quite solid, really, compared to other teams. I say some of those ones you mentioned there, mate, fucking awful. But
bit like it's solid, a bit like fucking Joe Witt's brain at the minute, isn't it?
I think that's the Cleveland Browns poop brown
uniform's the worst.
Yeah, but that's his equivalent of brain at the moment. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, who would you think the best hit is out there?
Who's got the best uniform? Yeah. I like the Chargers uniform, the powder blue ones.
Yeah, I like that one.
I really like that. I quite like, oddly enough, I like the Jets black uniform with the little bit of green in it.
Oh yeah,
it's like I mean that's quite smart.
No, you're about.
I think Detroit have like a snow one that's white, and it's like all white with a bit of silver in it.
Is that like their third kit or something? It's the alternate.
Yeah, it's like a alternate thing. I think that's quite smart as well. What about you? Classic colours are Washington and Green Bay, aren't they? They're never going to change. They're always the classic.
Yeah, definitely.
You like not the powder blue ones. I'm trying to think of what. I'm gonna have to look at the Charger uniforms here now. Yeah.
So I'm always a fan of the traditional colours of teams. You know what I mean? So for me, it's always going to be like the burgundy and gold. You know what I mean? It's going to be, even like even the shitty ones. Even the shitter ones, with even Dallas is all right. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's true to who they are. They've been a long time. They've always been silver and white with a little bit of blue. And it's the iconic jerseys.
It's not a powder blue. It's the dark blue that I like. the old school one, not powder blue. I don't know why I said powder blue. I don't know where I got that from.
That's the one they're playing with, like the sky blue. Isn't it? It's not the powder blue. That's the kind of sky blue.
It's the more navy blue one, the darker one that I like. That's quite smart. But yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Uniforms are uniforms. I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like the Steelers. You know, you're always going to have.
You know what you're going to get. Yeah,
black and gold, aren't you?
Yeah, and that's it, and that's what I like. I like more of the iconic type of thing more than a specific color scheme, as in such as slight alternates or this or that the other. I'm more like the case of I'm an old traditionalist really with that. You know, I'd rather see the traditional colors, our old school ones to come back. You know, I want stuff like that. I want to see Steelers in black and gold. I want to see Dallas in the silver and white. I want to see. You see what I mean? Like you want to see those the way they're meant to be. Like I always associate the Chargers with dark blue. You know what I mean? Like that's something that's always been there.
San Diego
going along as well. San Diego, yeah, and San Diego's colours. You know, and that was the kind of thing that I like when I see these things.
Yeah, I agree with you. Right, well, before we dip out, and thank you everybody who put a question in, Tim, who put that question. That was really good, actually. Gives you a little bit of food for thought. Hail on 3 podcast. Thank you for putting a question in. Rod putting his questions in. Everybody in the chat who's been with us, we appreciate it. Jesse, Rod, Ian, who's been in here. Who else have we had in here before? Lil C. White's been in as well. So yeah, thank you all for joining us. Alid loves an away game. He made me say that. It's a trademark now. Prediction before you go, Scouse.
Do we have to?
Against Kansas City on Monday night. I know. We don't have to. No, if you just say a loss, that's fine.
Yeah, it's going to be a defeat, and it's going to be a big one. It's going to be at least 18 points. At least 18 points
by 18, right?
At least.
Wow.
97-6. Yeah. I genuinely believe if they wanted to come at us and really put belt to ass, you know what I mean? If they really wanted to do that,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
they could easily get past 50, easy.
Do you think they could put? Do you think they'll put a 50 burger on us?
If they wanted to put full throttle on us, yeah. I think what happened, they're that far ahead. But Holmes won't even be playing fourth quarter. That's how far I think it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a blowout. You know, it's.
I'm now considering, kind of positive with it. I'm now thinking, do I even stay up for this?
I know, because this is a painful one. This is a 1 o'clock morning job for us. You know what I mean?
Morning job, yeah.
You know, and you're thinking
Tuesday morning.
Yeah. Do we really want to be watching this at this time, 4 o'clock in the morning, seeing us getting put 50 on us? You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I probably will because I'm a glutton for punishment, but.
I was texting you against that in that Cowboys game, and I was like, dude, are you still watching this with 4 minutes to go? And you were just like, I hate it, but I've got to watch it. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Glutton for punishments, man.
It's awful, isn't it?
That's the problem.
It's like sadomasochism, isn't it? You're like, what are you doing here? Why are you watching this shite?
You're not wrong, man.
It is funny because, like, I get it. The Monday night games are the worst for me. Thursday night football, I don't really mind because you're into a Friday. It's the weekend. You can almost recover. Do you know what I mean? It's not too bad. The Monday night football games when it's daft o'clock in the morning and you're sitting there at 4:30 contemplating, why have I just sat through that?
Yeah.
And then you can't calm down. So you're going to be at least another hour before you even get yourself
you might as well stay up
into bed
and go to work.
Then you rest. Then you're restless, and it's like, oh. Am I going to sleep? Am I not going to sleep?
You might as well just stay up. You might as well just stay up, mate, because you're up at 6. It's like, you might as well go to work, you know. Yeah, it's just pain, man. And we do that regularly. Like every time we're on, we'll watch. You know what I mean? Like we will watch the game, even though we know we're going to get bummed, and that's exactly what we're going to get done. We're going to get dry. We're going to get dry bummed.
Belt to ass,
mate. That's what's going to happen. We're going to get whipped all day on this game, mate. Tell you that now. It's not even going to be close in any respect. After the first 5 minutes, that'll be the closest it'll ever be in the game. The first 5 minutes of the game.
First drive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
I'll put money on. They'll get a touchdown first drive. Put money on it. You know.
That's a good. Well, gambling is we don't endorse gambling. Yeah. But you know, but there you go. It is what it is.
If you've got some spare cash, get on that because it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed.
100%. 100%. All right, well, that just about does us, Scouts. We'll be back on next Thursday for what is likely to be another Therapy Thursday. Thank you for being with me, mate. Scott G, thank you for joining the chat at the very end. Thanks everybody else who's been in the chat. We appreciate you, and we will see you again next week.
Bye.